görür sonu ağır şehir. Gök kurşuni hava yapışkan, uykunun kıyısında dalgalarda. Gözsüz güneşler yakıyor otları, sinekler cama vurup duruyor. Tek dostum onlar, görüyorsun canım yanıyor, ona muhtacım. Keşke hiç gitmese uzağa, tavandaki pervaneyi izliyorum. O benim avucumun içinde, sonsuzca öylece. Kimse sevemez böyle, benim o mühürlendim. Kimsenin bilmesine gerek yok, sadece o ben. Evdeyim, tabağı hazır ama süzülüyor her gün biraz daha.
Remind me what authority we actually have on the ground here, and unofficially.
None. Officially, we're two private citizens on vacation. Unofficially, Hunwa, Chisamat.
You have correct therefore. Said. Understood. Then the only thing I can actually promise you is that if you call, I will move heaven and the ministry to get you out.
That's more than I expect.
Don't make me need to prove it.
4 countries picked it up overnight. You're being asked for comment by outlets that never return our calls.
Everyone wants a comment except whoever keeps calling from a blocked internet.
That's the one I actually want to answer. Just not yet.
Aydin landed an hour ago.
That's not usually generous. It's not generosity. We expect.
Does the name Selin Khan mean anything from your time in command?
There was a file once about an academy graduate presumed dead in the operation going work himself. Kadir personally questioned why a deputy director would bother.
You're chasing Selin Khan now. I know things about how her structures move money because I didn't think it would matter. Why does it matter now? To her territory. For when she remembers the academy. If I can save her from one bad calculation.
8 years I protected people who were never protecting me back. This story proves the network was recruiting kids out of academies and burning them the moment they stopped being useful.
There's more I haven't said.
What's she like?
Brilliant. And now.
Same build as the original comment trace. Whoever called Mrs. Demir uses the identical proxy architecture.
Or someone using sophisticated enough that it could have been licensed out.
Licensed? You're saying this isn't just a network, it's a product.
2 rotations, 40-minute intervals. That's Academy standard perimeter. She trained the guards herself.
What do you mean? What is me to read?
Real security starts after the door closes behind me.
After that call, are you sure about part 2?
Call told me I'm close to something real. That's not a reason to stop. That's the only reason that's ever mattered to keep going.
And your safety?
Ask me that again after need it finished more than I need to feel safe.
Else. Years ago, drunk at a retirement dinner, Kadir said something I dismissed as nonsense.
What did he say?
He said, "I just the room clean the house." I don't think it was anymore.
The room clean for someone who built the house. If Selin trained Elif and someone built the house Kadir was cleaning, then Selin isn't the top project either. We came here thinking we were chasing her boss.
If it goes wrong in there, what's the signal?
There isn't one. If it goes wrong, you won't need a signal to know.
That's not reassuring.
It's meant to be honest. I owe you that much before we walk in.
4 academies to the same anecdotal phrasing within 20 minutes of
Response.
Or the same PR firm, or the same network telling 4 institutions exactly what to say. Either way, that's part 3.
20 years before Selin. We've been in this case for 3 episodes.
An handout.
Security wants to know if Al-Khan should be searched at the door.
No, let him walk in exactly as he is. I want Elif to see that I'm not afraid it would tell her I have something to hide. I'd rather she wonder why I don't.
They're just letting us in.
I told you. She wants this.
Wants what exactly?
I don't know yet. That's what worries me. Not knowing what she wants has never once gone well for me before.
She's 10 steps in front of us. She has been since we booked the flight.
Then we stop trying to catch up and start making her react to something she didn't plan for.
Now you sound like me 4 years ago.
Come in. You brought a friend.
tired with. Good tired. I thought you were dead. I just understood that I understood in a steady way. Let's talk like the two people.
Need 4 years then to strike an instant that the one Pakistan report is a leg person the sun would say. I'm on the horror.
Not yet. Not yet. That's what makes this dangerous. This isn't an interrogation. It's a recruitment pitch dressed as an old friendship. I'm not here to be charmed.
I'm here to make sure Elif comes out of this room the same person who walked in.
Fine. The whole answer. I destroyed it because I found out you were still alive, still building, still recruiting kids like us, and some part of me needed to prove I wasn't going to become you.
That's the most honest thing I've said to anyone in years.
This didn't start with me, Khalif. It didn't start with inherited a structure that was already 20 years old when I was recruiting.
20 years.
I'm not the architect you're chasing. I'm just the most recent one.
In exchange for you, act.
You don't hand over 20 years of an archive out of their essence. The instinct, what do you actually trained? I want out, genuinely out this time, not a stage death. And I need someone the founder won't suspect of helping me
You didn't stop.
I'm a journalist. Stopping isn't in the job description.
Then understand that part 3.
Part 3 will cost someone thing.
Part you.
the pointery. You said the founder.
Not a title, a person.
Detective Akan. You listen better than most people once appeared and give you credit for.
Who's in the single net archive room?
Which should tell you exactly how careful they've been for 20 years.
construction for shield on fractures to risk the maintenance. A group taking text heads my traffic grades for executive for a Forrester 2 Frank 16 church to the route. They teach what I call the could never asked to be a good for the encounter.
You want out? Fine. Give us the founder's name and we protect you the way you're
I don't have had the name. No one at my level has ever been given it.
Then what do you have?
I have a way to find out, but it requires doing something I swore I'd never do again.
Part 3. The script. Same words, same down days, same non-trees. Someone is above the bonus, the percussive phrase, the punch, person, not the person, right? The correcting it, picture film is me.
You believe her.
I believe the fear was real.
That's not the same when she leaving the founder wasn't real.
The truth who's been running this that we ever get.
No name in 20 years.
That's Selin's offering to open a channel that could expose the founder's location.
And expose all 3 of you the moment she does it.
We know.
Wearing anything.
it anyway.
Then I need everything in.
Tell Alkan to be careful with Selin Khan.
Why specifically her?
Because Kadri's drunken comment wasn't bitter. It was result of respect for them. I don't usually stop being loyal just because they say we want out.
20 years of never asking the question. I hadn't decided who this was for. That was a lie. It was always good.
Here's the full breakdown. Every shell layer Emmer's operation used matches the kit now team. And they would 3 through electronic the way we secured. I know.
Same car, different street. That's not a coincidence. That's a tale that isn't trying very hard to hide. They're not here to grab me. They're here to make sure I know they could.
If she's telling the truth, there should be nothing here pointing higher than her own rank. Everything's exactly as clean as she said it would be. Except this one. This one doesn't belong in this drawer at all. Patient coded, but I recognize the format. It's the same coding Amir's operation used for safe house designations. Selin said she's never had the founder's name. She never said she didn't know where to find them.
Anything useful in there?
Nothing new. Just confirming what she already told us.
I'm not ready to tell him. Not until I know if I'm protecting the investigation or protecting her. Then there's no undoing it. The founder will know a regional architect declared operational collapse. Do it. You always did decide faster than me. It's why you were better in the field and I was better in the classroom.
Name, no context. Just a location and a meeting time. 6 hours.
Fast for a 20-odd-year silent contact.
It's fast because they were probably been listening on this channel the entire time, waiting to see if I'd be foolish enough to...
Same coordinates. She already knew where this meeting would happen before she ever sent the signal.
Which means the emergency channel wasn't a real risk for her. It was theater. For us.
I need to tell him now before we walk into whatever this actually is.
You knew the coordinates before she discovered them.
I found she staged. It means she still protects the founder. Or us.
This letter requests you cease publication of any further material related to educational institution recruitment patterns. The client prefers...
This is boilerplate. It doesn't even name a real clienty.
The conversation after it isn't.
Because you never go. That's what mattered to me.
Elif found the coordinates before you already knew wherever they're sending the signal.
Yes.
Then what was the point of the theater?
The point was making sure Elif trusted the process enough to walk into that meeting with me. Said what she would have heard the location.
Baran's information just connected our case to 2 ongoing investigations in neighboring countries. This is in the Academy files suggested.
Send everything Elif find the joint founder today. I want the paperwork already built to hold whoever it...
I need discreet positioning, not intervention unless we directly. 2 of ours are about walking to a meeting with someone who may be the top of a 20-year operation. That's a lot to ask quietly.
It's the only ask.
Load gets them, killed it, loud before we learn anything.
Whatever happens in that room, understand the founder has never lost control of a meeting in their life, not once in 20 years.
Then we make sure this is the first time.
That's the Elif I remember. Let's go the person who built us both.
No client name, no real legal basis. Delivered by a man there, her own conclusion.
No visible security. There wouldn't be.
Visible security is for people who need to prove they're dangerous to anyone. The founder has chance to turn around. That's deliberate too. Everything about this person is deliberate.
Lost their signal. The villa's jamming everything within 100 meters.
Do we move in?
If we move in blind and it's not a trap, we blow the only lead we've ever had on the founder.
Give them 30 minutes. Then we move regardless.
Elif, Selin.
Hello, Chanam. You look well. Better than the version of you I was watching your footage. Nici çoğunca the laundries the need in the shirts your blood directly with lies.
The abduction was yours late for Yüksel's village. Why his own was suddenly compromised. Every phone call, every no baba. She was performing relief for a monitored line to a man who was never actually a victim of anything.
Her father.
I recruited you personally. You watched you nine train.
10-year war of friendship.
You can bleach part and eventual left any little thread of conventional lives, so I might have threat there. Jobs. You need completely too. I could lie about something like that.
You've You'd be better find a minute on. For my deformed Dawson.
Someone was in my apartment. Nothing's missing.
Get out, editor.
Now, go to the safe house. They didn't take anything. They left something instead.
Before you go, the journalist, Demet. She's been warned twice already. I'd hate for the third conversation. It's a fact about how there's this on eyes. You should hurry.
I'm ending at every piece of it, starting with you. I taught you that too.
I'm using Savovka correctly for the first time in my life.
Get Celine's archive photographed. We're third safe house. Third time someone's tried to make me small enough to ignore.
Kamal Aydin annotated my own draft in red ink and left it on my desk like a professor grading a paper.
That's not a threat. That's arrogance is easier to beat.
Signal's back. They're coming in and out.
All three, on foot, no visible injuries.
Get them out of the country the moment they're clear. And put every available resource on moment they're clear. Locating the journalist Layla Mir immediately.
How are you?
I don't know yet. Ask me again when I've stopped hearing his voice calling me Janam. Thank you, Faran. I could have stayed standing without it.
You're safe?
Safe house again. Third time's apparently the charm.
The founder is Elif's father.
That's...
You and everyone else in this case. We're bringing back the...
I have nowhere else to go that isn't back to him. You have somewhere to go. It's called a witness protection.
It's also significant, more like 20 years of recruitment records. We are not equipped for this scale, and we're doing it anyway.
Where do we start? We start with anyone reached active and still close to this investigation.
We start with the pipeline reached academies. It may have reached people we already trust.
Her father built the empire. Selin recruited crews the mighty Snais, Felicia the way describes.
That does not still afraid of what I don't know. Elif chose exposure over inheritance.
Expect that outcome.
The contingency. The contingency always her. The listing way. Into my work through you.
You were checking if my name was in there.
I needed to know.
I would have told you myself it was. I've earned that much trust by now, or I've earned nothing.
It's not that I don't trust you. It's that your father just proved trust can be manufactured well enough to fool for 4 years.
Sir, we have a match. Active officer, current joint task force assignment 11 years ago. That's someone with access to everything we've done since the warrant on Kadir. Get Aaron now. This changes who we can trust in this building.
There's an active recruit inside this task force. We don't know who yet.
Or Selin.
Selin's in protective custody. It's someone closer than that.
Kadir's network is compromised beyond recovery. Protect what remains. Report anything relevant to Elif Aitin's current movements and trust level with Al-Khan.
I trained recruitment behavior for a decade. Someone who's slightly too calm under pressure, slightly too good at appearing Ascorch.
That revealed genuine surprise.
He pulled the Arslan travel logs before Aaron even landed back to Cyprus. Nobody outside this office. We ought to know. We don't funny what our cheats him to yet.
3 officers' years match plausible recruitment windows. One of them requested access to the Cyprus travel logs from episode 3 before that information was ever officially shared with the wider task force.
No, but it's exactly where I'd start pulling the thread if I were you.
Feed him something specific. A false lead on where we think my father's hiding.
If you're using yourself to what my father does bait next.
I'm using a lie as bait.
It's clean. Let's build it carefully. Interpol thinks Kamel surfaced near the northern border 2 days ago. We're moving a team there by morning. There it is. Selin was right for exactly 1 second too long.
Message sent 40 minutes after Aaron's conversation. Encrypted, but the timing of loyalty to architecture is everything else in this case.
Confirmed leak. Arrest him quietly. And start a full audit of everyone who's touched this case since day 1.
He built recruits into academies. I think the hardest part of this case was proving what he forces into did.
How long have you been reporting to Kamal Aiden's network?
11 years. Since before I ever wore this badge, honestly.
It wasn't an assignment. It was an earned specifically so someone would always be watching this case from the inside. I didn't know with watching all of you outsmart him anyway.
Check the archive. I found the mole instead. I think that's the universe telling me where my doubt actually belonged.
And where does it belong now?
Nowhere near you.
You've spent 4 years choosing to fight him. Even that's something your father built. That's something you built despite.
Your evidence connected 3 regional cases, reflected it in the recommendo.
Good.
I spent 8 years thinking I was clever for staying useful to dangerous people. Turns out the only thing that ever actually mattered was the 8 weeks spent finally telling the truth.
Accepts the closing testimony. Sentencing stands as previously determined with the noted...
I spent 14 years protecting the wrong house. I spent the last few months finally helping tear it down.
He built a franchise model out of recruiting broken academy graduates and giving them a
Purpose the whole thing.
I need air.
These aren't isolated branches. There's a design consultant title and filings you've drafted from 2 other countries.
I'm saying there was you.
Final draft. The founder has a name now. Kamal Aiden. 20 years, I have 5 countries.
We need synchronized warrants in all 5 jurisdictions executed within the same hour, or she'll simply relocate to with or move slowest.
That's a 20-year pipeline.
I saw law enforcement academies. I think we're past the point of asking for anything small. We need synchronized warrants in all 5 jurisdictions executed within the same hour, or he'll simply relocate to whichever one moves slowest.
That's an enormous ask.
So as a 20-year recruitment pipeline inside law enforcement academies, I think we're past the point of asking for anything small.
It's everywhere. Every major outlet picked it up within 10 minutes.
Good, the more people who know his face, the smaller the world gets about an arrest for him to an airport. I started this chasing a comment under where I imagined would end with a name that big.
Location 1, clear. He's not here. Oh, 2, clear. Locker 5. He knew before we filed the paperwork, same. Which means the mole wasn't the only leak we haven't found yet.
Not hiding from comments, he's hiding from me specifically because he knows exactly how I think.
Then think differently than he expects.
He taught me to always leave one open in case I ever needed to come back. What if he's waiting by that door?
There's a property he never used for operations where he house-ake outside the city. He mentioned ago like it mattered to him in the way nothing else did.
The lake house.
Exactly years, exact why.
If we go, it's the 3 of us who already went to the villa.
Agreed.
No wider task force involvement did until we know the real. If it's just him waiting.
Then it's time I finally go back to that house on my own terms.
Time the 3 of you went somewhere quietly, you walked into the founder's living room unarmed.
Fine, with an archive that broke this case wide open.
But I'm putting a team within reach this time. Communications intact. Good.
I want to be there when it happens.
Not safe, Layla.
Stay back, but you can come.
What was it like? The lake house when you were a kid?
I remember thinking, fathers, he is no case in
Patience.
and that
Smoke, he's been here. Not be told.
last time I stood side of you, that should make it easier. No. But I'm going in anyway.
She's approaching him alone. I'm holding position, 30 meters out.
Copy. We're moving into range now, ETA 6 minutes.
6 minutes. I hope that's enough time for whatever she needs to say to him.
How long it would take you to remember this place?
We're going to remember it. Everything with you is a design.
Even this conversation, I've been designing since the day you were born. I'd like you to hear the whole plan before you decide how it ends.
You didn't build me to fix anything, Baba. I spent 4 years believing I was protecting you. I'm done. Whatever you built, I've been light piece. Sorry, still light piece.
I know. I joined this 20 billion. It's too tight. I want to spend from inside. Bill changed enough, so I paid you and it's still.
I don't want to succeed at being you.
Why not? The stress controls your story about him gets told.
In custody.
You wrote it. The part of the
Kamal's arrest doesn't end the pipeline. It ends the version of it we could see. Somewhere out there are other regional architects who don't yet know their founder is in custody. That gives us a window. I want to use every hour of it.
It's over. The part with him is.
Selin said there were architects in other countries. He said he built more than one version of me.
Then we're not actually finished, are we?
No, I think we just finished the first chapter.
You could disappear. Full protection. New identity. No further info.
I could. I'd rather spend the next 20 being good at unbuilding it. Besides,
This letter goes to the address exactly as written. No summary, no explanation. Send it today.
So, Kamel finally lost. Then it's time the daughter learned her father was never the one she should have afraid of.